Good afternoon, my name is Morgan Tibbetts. I'm going to talk to you about carrying a concealed weapon. I'm hoping by the end of this presentation that you all want to go get a gun and carry it with you at all times. A little bit about my background. I started out as in the military, joined the Navy. I got out of the Navy, went into law enforcement, worked on the reservation for about 12 years. I also want to inform you of your Second Amendment rights, because not everybody knows what the Second Amendment is. Now, it's easy for people to point at firearms and say they're the reason why there's so much violent crime in America. But we need to remember guns don't kill people, people kill people. Do any of you know what a gun is? History of a firearm. It is a weapon that launches one or many projectiles at a high velocity through burning of a propellant. In older firearms, the propellant was typically black powder or cordite, but modern firearms use smokeless powder or other propellants. Most modern firearms, with the notable exception of smoothbore, have rifle barrels, which impart spin to the projectile for improved flight stability. Beginning around 700 AD, scientists and inventors in ancient China developed different grades of gunpowder and innovated different types of firearms. The development beyond firearms accelerated during the 1800s and 1900s, when people paid more particular attention to the accuracy and the sighting of the firearms. More than any one single factor, firearms have proliferated due to the advent of mass production, which enables arms producers to produce a lot more firearms than in recent years. Second Amendment right. We will keep a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, and the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. What is the first thing you think of when you see someone carrying a gun?
Trying to protect themselves.
Trying to protect themselves. What do you think?
I hope they know how to use it.
Hope they know how to use it. Exactly. Some misconceptions of the firearms. Guns are the only way to commit mass murder. In 1927, Keogh, a farmer in Michigan, used dynamite at a school and killed 45 people. Oklahoma City bombs killed 168 people. No guns were involved. Another misconception of guns: gun laws keep us safe. The more gun laws we have, the safer we're going to be. Well, the problem is, if you don't have effective enforcement, you're not going to have, the laws aren't going to protect you very well. Laws didn't stop Columbine and Virginia Tech shootings. There were a lot of state and federal laws in place that should have prevented these people from obtaining firearms, but the laws didn't stop them. Guns are for criminals and police. There's no reason for ordinary citizens to have guns. In an internet site, they provided counter evidence, including a report in which two professors questioned 2,000 convicted felons. A third of those felons said they were scared off, they were shot at, or they were wounded by their so-called victim. Guns have saved people's lives, not just taken lives. Do more guns equal more violence. For firearms in our society, for personal protection. In 1998, a book called More Guns, Less Crime by an economics researcher, John Locke, his analysis of FBI crime data showed that claims in the statistics of concealed carry laws that were passed showed an overall decrease in crime. The stats that he studied were from 1977 to 1993 and found that there was a murder reduction rate of 8.5%, a rape rate reduction of 5%, and aggravated assault reduction of 7%. Now, there's no increase in crime due to more guns. According to the Chronicle of Higher Education, Mr. Lott's research has convinced his peers of at least one point. None of those scholars will now claim that legalizing concealed weapons causes a major increase in crime. Now, not everybody that gets a permit is a stand-up citizen. There have been some crimes committed by permit holders. Using publicly available media reports, such as the Violence Policy Center, claims that from May 2007 to the end of 2009, concealed carry permit holders in the U.S. have killed at least 117 people, including 9 law enforcement officers. Now, during that same period, there was about 25,000 murders by firearms. So if you do the math, that's less than 1% of the murder rate committed by permit holders. So it's not just criminals going out getting permits so they can do crime. Now that you know a little about guns, I encourage you to research more on your local laws. And maybe you could protect yourself and not rely on someone to protect you. Because when you need a cop, he's never around. Once you do something bad, they're there. We talked about what a gun is, some misconceptions, and some gun laws. Do any of you have any questions?
Did you by chance look up the accident rate for children, or guns in households with children? Did it rise? Did it matter?
In 2007 to 2008, and it depends on what you call a child. Your gun lobbyists, people for gun control, say that a child is anywhere from 1 to 20 years old, and the rate is about 6,000 in the United States. Now, if you go to just 1 to 18, that number is only 3,000. So you have 2,000 deaths or injuries between 18 and 20 years old. So you have to think of how many people are in gangs and what are their ages that are in gangs. And that's where most of your gun violence is. Drugs, gang-related, stuff like that. So that's why your age groups from 18 to 20 are so high. And that's why the gun lobbyists want to use that number, because it shoots their numbers up. Any question?
Do you think people should be trained if they're gonna own a gun?
Yes. A lot of your crime against people